Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV, the highlight of my week. Always get to talk to my dear friend. I'd love for him to reintroduce himself, his first and last name, and what he's up to.
Cheldin, I'm Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and of course, the author of Saving Men from Themselves 20 Proven Tactics with a New Approach to Healthy Living for Men Over 50. How are you?
I'm so good. I am so good. I'm so good. We always tend to cheat a little bit, Louis. You know we do. And I
Yes.
get to an insight as to what we're going to talk about today. And this one sounds great. This one sounds great. What are we talking about today, friend?
Well, what we want to do today as we talk is bust some myths,
Fair.
right? And
Yeah,
particularly with 50 plus guys, there's a myth that says, well, of course, when you hit 50, it's all downhill, Sheldon,
sure.
physical decline, mental decline. And of course, the science says otherwise,
Yeah.
right? A Yale professor, Dr. Becky Levy, who I follow and has written several books on aging, published an article in the Journal of Geriatrics earlier this year and just added to the literature that says no, decline is not inevitable, right? And it's
Yeah.
particularly important, Sheldon, because when you that mindset that says it's all downhill
Yeah.
also contributes to men saying, well, if it's all downhill, then why should I see a doctor? Why should I get an annual physical? So
Right.
it's got a compounding factor that's really not good. So we
Yeah.
need to find an answer to that.
Do you have an answer, my friends? Because this sounds like this is this ongoing scenario that this cart before the horse, chicken before the egg kind of situation where we're kind of battling ourselves and men are doing it quite so often. So is
Yeah.
there an answer out there? Is there a way to look at this differently?
Well, it's that cultural dynamic,
Yeah.
that stereotype of men going downhill that really gets us there. So when I find another cultural trend that pushes in the opposite direction, I want to look at it and see if there's a connection to our 50 plus men. And of course, in this
Yeah.
case, there is. And that mindset, that cultural phenomena, which seems to be growing amongst our younger friends, is something called high agency,
High
right?
agency.
High agency, it comes out of the tech world and the business world, but it's really anchored in psychology. And it basically suggests that you can make it happen. It's an empowering mindset. It's for the 50 plus men, it says that, look, this stereotype that we're all downhill after 50 is not true and that we can confront this. And if we take the mindset that we can control our lives, that our destiny is something that we have some leverage over, then that's the way to think about it. Because otherwise, it's a rolling stone going,
Right.
going down the mountain,
Right,
and
exactly.
it's the wrong thing. It
It's the
just
wrong thing. Now, when you say this, I know that when we talk about so many ways to live better, to be better, a lot of it is physicality. A lot of it is getting moving. A lot of it is what you're eating. A lot of it is creating this lifestyle. But you're saying that this is more grounded in mindset. Am I hearing you
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah. It's all about the psychology of how we look at things.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. In high age and high agency individual looks at difficulty with their diet as an opportunity,
Right.
right? And they're very flexible and they understand that it's adjustment is okay. It doesn't mean failure. It means it's an opportunity to try a different diet. Or if
Right.
your exercise program is just not seeing the fit, well, look at on the brighter side. We know what doesn't work. Let's go find something that does work. And a
Right.
high agency person does something we talk about all the time, which is build a social structure around them,
Mm,
right? Somebody that can hold you accountable, somebody that can support you, and it can be a number of individuals, whether it's a gym buddy, a spouse, or whomever. That's what you do.
right.
So a high agency individual is has a lot of the characteristics that we've talked about a lot, but it's a buzzword and it's a contemporary theme, again, borrowed from the business world in part, in high tech world in part, and the younger generation in part. But look, guys, it's good for us as well.
It is. It's so good. I like the idea of this social structure. I'm a visual learner, so I can kind of see the actual literal structure in my mind. And what does that really look like? The org chart of where everything kind of falls, in order to get me to my goals. And I think that sometimes people, listen, the majority of us know what we should be doing. right? The majority of us have heard the things, have watched the things, followed the things, but we need this kind of structure and mindset roadmap per se to be able to get us to that space. I mean, I think that a lot, especially those of us who are active, those of us who are ambitious, that have not prioritized our health in those particular ways, need to create this social structure, need to understand that, if I sit with myself about myself for a significant period of time, but not just to meditate necessarily, no offense to meditation, but to come up with a plan, to be able to move forward to reach my goals, I think is really interesting. So to pull that from an active group of people in the tech space, people who are goal driven, people who are deadline driven, people who are creating, innovating constantly, I think is an interesting choice. I think it's
Right.
interesting.
Look, it's for the 50 plus man. Some will embrace it, others will not.
For
But
sure.
I'm telling you, if you're looking for a
Yeah.
mindset and
Yeah.
approach that really can take you where you want to be, which is again, we always talk about the end game, right, Sheldon? It's about spending time with the children and the
Yeah.
grandchildren. It's about encore careers. It's about
Yeah.
living with gusto. But
Yes.
the common denominator, of course, is our health. We have to be healthy enough to do it and be able to
Sure.
be active. And so, with this mindset that says we can make it happen, that these cultural headwinds, as I call them, are something we can plow through with a
Yeah.
stronger mindset. It really works. And the one other piece I want to
Sure, please.
drop in there is the notion of grit we've talked about before. Angela
Mm,
Duckworth,
yeah.
psychologist from University of Pennsylvania, follow. Um, Basically came to the conclusion that as we age, we can get grittier, meaning
Mm,
we stick with our long-term goals. We have a strategy to meet those goals. So high agency, grit, there are theories and concepts out there that can really take us where we want to go.
yeah, no, absolutely. Especially for those over 50, those that are more seasoned, those that understand what the impact is when you do not take care of yourself, and those that have seen more, right? They tend to be a little bit more gritty. They tend to really be able to look at things a little bit differently. I know that you and I have talked about multiple times about some people who get stuck in their ways, right? But
Mhm.
their body is now changing, especially for us over here on the women's end. We could be eating the same thing for years, and then now, oh, our bodies begin to shift and not react in the same way. So there's this combatant up against what has worked in the past versus the changes that you need to make. But it sounds like you're giving us again that roadmap, that social structure, and that permission to say, okay, this is the new way of doing things. This is the way to get to where it is you want to be.
Absolutely. We do not have to accept the cultural status quo.
Correct.
We don't have to accept the stereotypes that, again, the middle-aged guy with the
Yeah.
punchy,
Yeah.
belly and like,
Yes.
where's my keys? I'm losing
Yeah.
my cognitive.
For my keys. A
Just
hundred
really,
percent.
just reject it
Yeah,
out
we
here.
we do not need to surrender to the status quo. Do not
Exactly.
need to surrender to all of those things. We can be able to move forward with an active plan. I love this. I love this. I love this. Again, you never, ever, ever disappoint. We're so excited that you join us so often. We want to make sure that people get in touch with you, that they learn more about what you've got going on. Where do they find that information?
You can find me at Louis Bezich on social media. And of course, my website, louisbezich.com. You can find out what's going on in my world of healthy lifestyle.
Oh, we love it. We love it. This one was really good. I suggest all of you get in touch with my dear friend. I promise you, you will not be disappointed from all of us here at This Is It TV. I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.